On that note, hello everybody and welcome. That's right, a little back talk there. A little bit of chat in the back. I hope you guys are doing well. We got a lot going on. We got a great guest today, somebody that I've known for a long time, nearly 5 years it seems. Somebody who's been a supporter of mine, therefore I've been a supporter of his. He does great stuff coming out of the middle of the country, the south middle of the country. Big place. And he's truly amazing. He knows everything. I swear about comics and rare comic stuff too. I mean, stuff that we used to have a handful of guys that knew comics. My dearly departed friend Klabi, we had Apex. We had a handful of these guys that know stuff. Like Nick Weiser, if you know Nick Weiser. So I'm very blessed to have him joining us. He's in the midst of a campaign. He's in the first of many days, I guess. I thought we were getting close to closeout, but I was wrong, which is good because you're going to want to get in on this. The Fembat. That's right. If you want to know what the Fembat is, I'm sure he'll explain. And then we'll get started. But he's got a great YouTube channel. He's very close to 1,000 on that, so he can monetize it. I think he's a little over 720 something, and he's getting there. And again, I consider him a friend because we've hung out quite a bit. We were just chatting about that a moment ago. Last time we got to hang out for real, which is too long. But look, let me introduce you to the one and the only Apex Comix. Let me bring him in here, and we will have a chat. Apex, how are you doing, buddy?
Yo, good to see you, Culture.
Hey,
Gosh, a
hey.
long time.
It's been too long. I will say that look, I always tell people because a lot of people won't reach out. I'm like, dude, reach out. If it's been a
Yeah,
minute, if you got something going on, like my buddy, Drunk 3PO, or in your case, this campaign you got going on. I'm always super stoked to talk to people about the stuff they're doing that's not YouTube. And you do a lot of stuff that's not YouTube, so that's
yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, man. I've been at this comics game self-publishing since 1996. I
Woo!
was known as Apex Graphics, but I changed the name in 2020 to Apex Comics. I thought it has a nice snap to it. And gosh, this new campaign, Fembat.
Yeah.
It's I've created the character Fembat back in 1998. I wanted something a little different. I can't, of course, I can't use the bat symbol. I'll be sued by DC. Better yet, I think, what could I use? Okay, well, how about some gold armored tatas?
Oh
It's a
boy.
bit risque, but yet it gets the criminal to look at her kind of amazed in a way. At the same time, hey, she has the advantage of taking him over. And
Of course, yeah. Ladies always win. The feminine wiles. Men are very simple. I'm gonna show you a little bit, audience, of what we've got here in the background. It's gonna cover up a lot of us, but that's okay. You guys will still be there. Let's take a look at the Fembat, the beginning of the Fembat campaign. This is amazing. The art's fantastic, the banner's great. And you do all this work mostly, right?
yeah, I write pencil, ink, and letter all by hand, no computers.
Oh man, it's amazing. I feel like you have like the gift of a colorist, to be fair.
I
So
color my own stuff as well.
yeah,
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 it's
yeah. I because I've seen you do it. I mean, I've watched you do it, so I'm always impressed. This is doing really well. You got 23 backers already. You're over your goal, 105%. Got 100 in basically 60 days, but 159 to go.
yeah.
And this is in a new place for many people. This you want to tell everybody about who this is and how effective it's been. And I had contact with him in the early days when
Mm,
he was setting this stuff up, and I really wish I was able to help him more. But
yeah.
yeah,
This is a platform called fundmycomic.com. Um, Luke Stone is the originator, and um, he has a computer guy. His name's Justin, and a few other handful of people that help him out with this platform. Uh, Besides the Kickstarters and the Indiegogos, they've been rather targeting conservatives, unfortunately, for no reason at all. I think all platforms should be for everyone, no targeting of anybody whatsoever. And so, Fund My Comic is more of a platform for anyone. You don't have to, regardless of political affiliations. They try not to stay away from the
Hmm.
politics and all that. It's pretty
Hmm.
much a free thinking platform. You don't get banned or shadow banned like a lot of times the Indiegogo had been for a couple of years, unfortunately. I was going to launch my campaign on Indiegogo, but somehow it I had a struggle of trying to put the campaign together. It wasn't as easy to tell you type of advice as Fund My Comic. These guys, you can ask for help, and they will give you help within, I'd say, less than 24 hours. To be honest.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good from these guys, to be fair. And I like I said early on, they did reach out. I found myself without the time to help them, as you know. That was back when before I retired. So now,
Oh yeah,
yeah, now that I'm retired, things are more better. And
okay.
I like you said, I'm available. I love what you're doing, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we've shilled the book for quite a bit. You're going to get a healthy dose of shilling again, but I think everybody wants to get to. I think everybody wants to get to know you.
Okay.
So let's do that. Let's do that right now. You've been doing this on YouTube for almost 5 years now. I think. Am I close?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, a little close, about 5 years
Yeah.
since 2019. I used to be called Comic Book Journeys, but I changed it to Apex Comix
Oh.
in
Okay.
2020.
Oh.
I'm Brett Cantrell, and of course, being an artist, you pretty much have to have everyone know your name to
Hmm.
know what you do. Pretty much had to reveal, my identity. Of course, in a platform, people will not want to know where am I going to send my money to, and that's
Yeah.
very important for them to know that. Have some transparency. So yeah, I'm a Navy veteran. I served Desert Storm back in early '90s. I went to Texas Tech University, majored in design communications. I've been a flat out comic book fan since I was, I don't know, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
I
You're like me. You're like,
Yeah,
you're like me. So
I started
yeah.
out just with the newspaper strips like Andy Cap, uh,
Mhm.
Bill Abner, Steve Roper,
Mhm.
Mike Nomad,
Yes.
Snoopy, Peanuts, Heathcliff. The list just goes on and on. And comic books, I discovered them back in around, I'd say, late '60s, early '70s. I
Yeah.
was at my step grandmother's a little convenience store called Ratchins in Coleman, Texas, and they had candy, gum, and they had a rack of comics. I'm thinking, wow, this is really cool. Of course,
Yeah.
they were dirt cheap back then, around 20, 25 cents. You can get 4 comics for $1 and some change for tax. And I thought this, I didn't know of any other place which would carry comics. I started to discover that
Oh,
a few years after that. Oh,
yeah.
there's a comic right at 7-Eleven. There's
Yeah,
one at
yeah,
grocery.
yo, dude, you just said it. I was gonna say it. Yeah, that was my dude. Okay, so at the time, my family had been giving me comics, and I was like, "Where
Yeah.
am I gonna get these? Because these are amazing." Like, I got a bunch of old war comics. I had the original appearance of Thor. I had all these amazing books. Right?
Yeah.
They were definitely not gradable because they were read through, which is the way you're. That's what you're supposed to do. Y'all that collect comics, that's great and all. If you can deliver me a Superman that's perfect, that's correct. That's just, especially if it's number one, or DC. You give me a first Detective Comics with the first appearance of Batman. I'm gonna salivate over that, especially if it's graded high. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you're supposed to read your books. so, so
Right?
I'm old school, but now I protect them. I protect them, and the reason is because I had a flood which took out my first appearance of Thor, which is a comic that's worth
Oh,
about
no.
$45,000 right now.
Holy mackerel.
So it's fine. It's fine. It gave a loving sacrifice. But anyway, so now everything is, you got a board, you got a board and bag up and put in your long boxes and just protect your thing. But
Yeah.
ultimately, you should read your books. So I love it when I talk to somebody who knows the inside and outside of the book. You are a guy that does that. You got to check out his channel. And I just, as a kid, my first place to go get comics was about half a mile from my house. I rode my bike back when, by the way, that wasn't child abuse, when you could actually travel away from
Right.
your home. Rode my bike with some friends and my pocket full of change, as you talked about, and I went to the 7-Eleven. It literally in the middle of a 1 mile block. I rode a half a mile and probably an eighth of a mile up to get to this 7-Eleven in the middle of the 1 mile block. And we would all go in there. We'd get our Coca-Cola icy or slushy or whatever. I think it was icy.
I
Um,
guess
and
Slurpee, wasn't it?
Slurpee. No, okay, you're right. So a Slurpee, right? Get a Coca-Cola Slurpee, and we grab our bag out of the rack.
Yeah.
Right, we pull our bag out if it was something that looked interesting, and sometimes you ended up with like a Disney comic in the middle of it or whatever, but that's fine. So, but I love that. That was a uniquely fun experience. So you and I had the same kind of a grow up, I think. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, let me say this. We got a few people we want to welcome in the chat, and then
Yes.
we got to get fired up into the 3 questions because that's one of the things I like to do. I
Okay.
like to prep you. You know what the questions are, or you should, because I sent them to you
Yeah,
early.
you did.
Yeah. So there's no gotchas. I always do that with the guests. The first time you're on, next time I'm going to ruin your day and ask you a bunch of terrible stuff. But okay, maybe not. But the goal here is to like I said, is to have a good conversation, let the audience get to know you, they find out about your channel, and importantly here they get to find out about your campaign. So we had a lovely gifted membership from our good friend Ruby Hoove, who just supports everybody all the time. She's great. Hoove is fantastic. These are people that I see all the time. I appreciate very much. We got Captain Fandom Nerd out there who has been supporting me since day one. This guy, he's great. Has his own channel. Doesn't do enough. Going to have a conversation with him. Got Copperhead out there who was worried about running over FNT. I think they go to Rumble at some point, so I don't think there's any way I won't be able to do that, but I hope not.
Yeah, right.
Who else we have? We had Tom F out there. There he is, Tom F.
Hey,
And yeah, we've got great people watching this. Jeff's out there.
what's up, Jeff? Hey,
Terry Rose.
Terry.
Wait, this is you. You're here, but you're there. Anyway. Yeah, we got Luke. That's a comic guy. You know that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that guy.
He's a good guy.
I had him on here too. He's pumping his stuff. We got FKHC 2005 in the house, a longtime supporter. We got the Weatherman. What's up? What's up with the Weatherman? There's just a few more people. Randy Thodo's out there. The panel or the plane. Yeah, that's me. Juliet's here. She's from across the universe. So it's very early morning for her. Good to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. Radioactive. That's an old song. I'm old. Carlos Alfredo Lopez. We got the great Snafu and the lovely Emily Kruger. Good to see you, dear. Thanks for being here. I get to see her infrequently, but it's great to see her when I do. I get to see her on this show. I get to see her over on Salty Nerd Podcast and some other places. So she's out there supporting people like crazy. She's awesome. We got Red Devils. Good to see you. Happy Friday, Red Devil. Look at that. Everybody with the puppers. I'm a big fan. Anybody with an animal, cats, dogs, horses, raccoons. You know what? I like squirrels.
Yeah.
I am not that terrible state that went after that squirrel. What a terrible person went after a squirrel. Scott Summers is in the house. We got Jared Markham. All right. We went through everybody that's here at the moment that's willing to identify themselves, willing to admit that they're here. A lot of people lurking, but that's good. Let's get to it. We've got more to talk about, so we got to ask you the 3 questions.
Right.
Made it to the 3 questions, believe it or not. We're here. Pinochet's Helicopter Tours is here, who's enjoying his wrench, I see.
The wrench.
The wrench. We got many wrenches. They're all great. I get JP got a membership out of the whole thing. Good to see you. And thank you for being here, Pinochet. You're my one and only wrench that has identified themselves as here. So you're responsible for the stream today, buddy. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So what do we got? We got love. All right. Let's get into this. There are 3 questions I ask everybody. They're not hard. They are, but they're very poignant because they kind of let everybody know where you come from. So, first question, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What and this is you and I are older, so this is a big question.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
what is your favorite TV show of all time, my friend? What is the show that just like if it's on, you sit down and watch. If it's what is it? What is your show? What is it?
$6 Million Man.
Oh, Lee Majors right out the gate.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. I mean, they made toys out of this guy. I
Yeah,
mean,
he was great. Yeah,
John.
that
Yeah.
was one of the first likeness action figures
It
I can
was
remember, and it wasn't a baby action figure. That was like a GI Joe size, like a
12 inch.
12 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Figure. Yeah.
yeah. Oh
I mean,
man.
yeah. I mean, it was a show ahead of its time in a way.
Yeah,
It it could happen. I mean, you have an astronaut going on a flight mission,
yeah.
like testing out a jet. He crashes. Pretty much, almost half his body is his right arm, both
He's
his
still
legs are
alive.
gone.
He's
He's
still
still alive.
alive. Yeah,
We can make
tough.
it better, stronger, faster. I'm like,
And they did. Holy cow.
and they had Bigfoot on there, which is cool. Maybe the
Oh
third season, I think. I forget which season it was,
no,
but
I think it was the third season.
yeah,
That was great. What?
yeah,
Okay, so what attracted you to that character? I mean, you're a comics guy, so it makes sense that it's six
yeah.
million dollar man. But what was it? I mean, was it just the fact that this is plausible? I mean, what was it?
I would say it's very action packed. It's has some science fiction backed up in it, and it could actually happen. It's something that could be based in reality. And
And,
I know it's a bit far fetched, before its time. And well, the bionic portion, it could happen. That technology was there.
uh,
Of course, it would be billions of dollars at the cost nowadays if it were
yeah.
to happen.
Yeah, but I kind of believe that because we have Elon Musk and we have
Yeah,
this new brainy thing he can install. Maybe maybe we're not that far away. Hey, you want an
uh,
Optimus bot? It's 60 grand. You want us to rebuild your body? 120. It's like
that's right. Yeah,
see,
that
and
implant thing's a little worrisome. I kind of keep
hmm,
my own brain unless I absolutely have to have it. If
what
I
if
can't function,
what
then
if
maybe
it's
I'll have it.
what if it's capable of reactivating nerves that have been damaged that don't move limbs anymore? I mean,
That could work.
what if it gives you the ability to control an exoskeleton
Oh, there you
that
go.
that makes you superhuman?
Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
yeah, by the way, it scares me too, which is why
It is, yeah. If
why
I
I'm
could have my full functionalities, have my independent thought and free
yeah,
mind, then yeah, it could happen.
as
But
long as there's no Bluetooth, right? You don't want
right,
external communications.
exactly.
Somebody be like with their phone, you'd be like, "I don't wanna go here. What are you doing?" It'd be
Like I
nuts.
don't want to be hacked in. Crazy.
Oh, dude, but the idea is good, right? I mean, the
It
$6
is.
million man, gosh, I don't know if there's a better answer than that, dude. That's the first person that said that.
Really?
Yeah, I think well, on the this part of the show. The
Right.
chat's probably said it more than a few times, but,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
I
met
mean
John Saxon. He played the first Terminator before it was a Terminator. I met him back in 2006 or seven. I think it was 2007. And I said that to him. It's like, dude, you're like the first Terminator before Arnold. And he's
wait a
like, you
minute.
know what?
Like,
You're right.
wait, which Saxon?
John Saxon.
Like the martial artist Saxon?
Yeah, we're talking about Enter the
Oh,
Dragon.
Enter the
John
Dragon. Oh
Saxon.
my gosh, yeah, it
Yes,
was my
John
like
Saxon.
my favorite character in that movie, right?
Right.
Holy cow.
I think it was like episode. I forget what it. I think it may have been the first or second season. I can't remember when. I think it was the first season. But when you see his face ripped off with a bunch of wires and fake,
Yeah, oh yeah, it's wild. It's crazy.
whoa,
Yeah.
he's there to kill Steve Austin. I'm like, damn, this guy's crazy.
It kinda was the first Terminator.
Yeah,
It's funny, it was only like 6 years later. Was that right? Is my math good? That we got
I think.
was
Yeah,
the
Enter the
first Terminator?
first Terminator was '84. So
73 was Enter the Dragon.
yeah, '74
So
was the
so 11
series.
years. 11 years.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the series. the $6 Million Man series was 74. Then 84 was Terminator. So I think it was 10 years, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, 10 years. Yeah,
About
yeah.
10. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought Enter the Dragon was 73.
Yeah, 73 was before the $6
Yeah.
Million Man.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so great. And he was famous, right? What
Yeah.
a loss. What a loss.
I know.
Oh,
It's only a few years. I think he passed like a year or so ago. I
a
can't
couple days, yeah, a couple 3 years ago, I think. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means almost everybody from that film's dead. I think there's a few production people that aren't, but that's terrible. Well, it's funny. We still have Chuck Norris. He did a lot of Bruce Lee stuff.
84, man.
Yeah.
He's still going strong.
Dude, he looks like $1 million too.
He does. Lee Majors turned 85 this year. So
Dude also looked
Yeah.
really good. Dude, so every Christmas I get to see Lee Majors
Really?
in Scrooged, because I watched Scrooged, which is
Oh yeah.
this Santa's going out the front door. It's so good. Oh man. Anyway, wow, we are way off. I'm enjoying this segment too much. All right,
yeah.
I need to stop enjoying myself. We need to
All right.
move on to the next question.
Yeah.
You need to behave. This needs to be better. All right, so the next question is the best question. Well, I don't know. They're all three of these are good. But this is important because it gives us an indication of wait, we got a member chat. Sorry, we got to pull up stakes and talk about this real quick because I like to acknowledge the people that have been with me for 4 years. Our good friend Pinochet's Helicopter Tours, who is a supporter of mine and many of my friends for a long time, says that Yul Brynner was first Terminator. Oh, that's true. 1973's
1978.
Westworld. What? Wait,
73?
did he say 73? It's what he says. I'm willing to believe him. I don't remember. I thought that was. I thought it was a
portion.
Yeah, the movie. But man, Yul Brynner, what an actor! Another guy we lost. No, did we lose him? Is he
in
gone?
85? Yeah, 85.
All right, super sucks. But anyway, totally amazing, Yul Brynner.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back to it. We'll get back to the question. We're going back to the question, everybody. Sorry about that. Yeah. All right. This question. What film is your go-to movie when you're homesick or you're homesick? What's your comfort movie?
Oh man. I'm going to say Highlander. Right, the first Highlander. I mean,
Man,
I don't know if it's really a homesick kind of movie, but I enjoy it with my friends. We go home from the club like about 2:33 in the morning. We're like hungry. Okay, we get something to eat. There's like, put on Highlander on VHS. So we watching Highlander. It's like, it's cool. I mean, that's the one to actually go to. I've watched it occasionally. And the very first Highlander, it has history behind it. It has immortality, history. What would you do to?
Well, and you forgot great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack, Queen. Come on, yeah, yeah.
Man, we're old. Holy cow!
I know, right?
Anyway,
or at least in '86, of course.
That's such a and dude, we are going to get. Okay, I'm going to break news. We're definitely getting the Highlander series from Henry Cavill. So,
okay, this will be interesting.
Yeah, look, and I already know some other news I can't report yet about Henry Cavill. This sucks because I don't get to say anything. Somebody else is going to break that story. I'm going to be pissed. Anyway, it is what it is. But Henry Cavill's going to be fine. Everybody, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I remember Christopher Lambert. When I think Clancy Brown mentioned
yes,
got killed by Christopher Lambert because he has to wear glasses in order to see the fight, and he almost got his head lopped off, literally. So they had to work with Christopher Lambert in his eyesight for a while. And I think the TV series has his cousin, Duncan MacLeod?
Duncan.
Went for a few years, right? 5 years. I don't know. But yeah, it was a good show.
It was. And of course, Rob Alta says 38 months of membership, not seconds. All right, brother. Good to see. Did I say seconds for Pinochet?
Seconds.
See, this is what happens when you get old. You lose your mind.
Membership. Yeah.
Yeah, and Davina reminds us that Yul Brynner died of lung cancer. Don't smoke, kids. That's right.
Yeah. He gave his cigar collection to Roger Moore.
Yeah, who also died.
Also, 2017. He lasted quite longer.
Yeah, but dude, he was. Oh man, it's
Yeah.
like he was the oldest to play Bond. By the way,
He was.
You would think it would be Sean Connery, but no, it was him, the oldest
Roger
Bond.
Moore.
The best Bond, Sean Connery, but the oldest Bond, Roger Moore.
Roger Moore. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm a huge George Lazenby fan.
He had a restaurant in Australia. It was a 007 based restaurant.
He is just he was definitely the coolest dude. He was the most fleet of foot. He was the most believable in the fight scenes because he was younger.
He was.
And he was fit. He had a background in physical contact fighting and all kinds of stuff. It's like my grandpa asked me that. My grandpa before he passed, he's a huge Bond fan. The guy that introduced me to Bond. Way too young, by the way. I think it was like 7 or 8, and the VHS was maybe a little older.
That's
7 or 8, maybe 8. But yeah, my grandpa, he did pretty well for himself, and he had one of the first VHS players I'd ever seen, and he started collecting. Do you remember when those movies were like $100 a pop?
It's like, 99.
Boom. Dude was buying them like they were going out of style. So when the Bond films came out, they were in the household. So maybe it wasn't. I wasn't that young. Maybe it was 10 or 11. But whenever he introduced me to Bond, it was through that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, this is incredible stuff. And and I'm a little guy, and I was like, this is great. And so I became a huge Bond fan. I own every single one of them except for the last one, and that's probably going to be it. Because I'm seriously pissed. Daniel Craig's a POS Bond. There were films that he was in that were good.
Yeah.
But the minute he came in, we ended up with Jason Bond. Or because I'm like, oh, now we're gonna have shaky cam. We're gonna have close in fighting you can't see. It's just like, oh, what the hell did you do to my Bond franchise? Soy Bond. Anyway, God, I'm talking way too much. You need to talk. So apparently you like Highlander for some reason.
All right. Yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, it pretty much has everything, most everything that you like. It's got war. It's got beautiful women. It's got immortality. It has a good story behind it, and it's a guy who can last decades and centuries without aging, unless you lop his head off.
Well, and that's the other cool thing. And then you can bring him back, which I didn't know was possible. What the heck? That guy's totally dead.
Yeah. Well, Sean Connery came back.
The Quickening.
The Quickening. Yeah, that was so off base.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. And our good friend Weatherman drops in a $1 super duper chat. Thank you for that. Yeah. Hey, don't be afraid to gift memberships or super chats or whatever. We will talk about them. This guy is very well informed. I'm ashamed I haven't had you on more frequently, but anyway, Weatherman says, I agree, Culture. Daniel Craig is a subpar Bond. Yes, he makes Dalton look good. I didn't know that was possible.
Dalton wasn't that bad of a Bond. He's okay.
He had one really good Bond performance. It was the grittiest, most violent Bond ever. Living Daylights, right?
I love that movie.
Yeah. So it's just like, anyway, it's just like, but I look, I appreciate your selection. You are deemed worthy on the I'm sick at home on the couch watching Highlander.
Well, of course, the Bond movies are awesome too. I mean,
man,
I tell you, can't not go wrong with Bond. That's for sure.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? Red Devil's right. Subpar yet somehow the longest tenure. That's it right there. It took a minute to load. And of course, Shadow Chaser's right too. There's only one Highlander.
There's only one Highlander.
There's only one.
There could be only one. Better burn out than to fade away.
And again, it's so great. Okay, and that's quoted often, even in movies and television shows and in songs. I'm like, good, great.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, so good. All right, so we need to move on because otherwise, I feel like
Yes.
this is going to be like we're going to be
It's
cutting
going
it towards
2
the
hour.
end. We're going to be like, I can't do that. We only got
No,
90
no.
minutes. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
we go from here to Ascendant Art. Those guys are funny as heck. Plus, Tina will be there tonight. It looks like so that'll be fun.
So,
Anyway, let's do the last question, my friend. And
alright.
I man, this is fun. I forgot how fun the show was. All right, so the last question is, and this one's tough.
Mm,
I layeth out the smackdown with the last question,
mm.
uh, and I'm going to ask you this: what is your best film experience? Not what's the best film,
Hmm.
but what was your best film experience and why? Because for many people, it's because of the company they were with, or the just whatever was the events surrounding it. What was that?
Yeah.
Because it's different for everybody.
Yeah, well, the film that really comes to mind, a really feel-good movie, was Superman 2, believe it or not. It was. I mean, you have 3 criminals from Krypton going coming down to Earth, taking pillage on everything, and
Yeah,
the President wailing away, "Superman, where are you? Save us!"
yeah.
And where was he? Of course, he wanted to be a normal man. I'm like, okay, this
Mm.
is kind of crazy. But yet, toward the end of the movie, I don't know if most of you guys seen Superman 2 or not, but I went away just feeling great. I'm feeling
Yeah.
super in a way. Just feel like you can fly around the earth. It gives me that. It lifts my lifts my hopes up of being a better person, I guess, or feeling
Yeah.
better coming out of the movie. You know,
But now I'm gonna clarify because I have to. Now that's not the best film you've ever seen. That's the best experience
it's
you've had.
experience, right?
Okay,
It's
fair enough.
experience.
You know,
Yeah.
I get that, because like there's some films you come out of and you're just like over the moon. And it wasn't a particularly good film, but it gave you that the warm feelies, right? Kind of like Joe Biden was sniffing your hair or something. Um, yeah.
For
So
sure.
mm,
The
anyway.
way that Clark Kent took care of that bully at the end of the movie, I'm like, hell yeah,
It's funny because I find myself watching the Reeve Superman more
yeah,
than almost, any of the other ones, right? Despite the fact that I think Cavill was incredible, they never gave him an opportunity to run. I would say Man of Steel was very disappointing from that point of view.
it was
Um, it was dark,
very dark.
retelling the same story you just recounted, and it was done very much more poorly, instead of banishment to the next, to the dark dimension, traveling through space forever or whatever.
Yeah,
There's actual killing. Spider-Man doesn't
mhm,
kill.
no,
Spider-Man, excuse me. Superman doesn't kill. Spider-Man also doesn't kill.
right.
So, but yeah, it was one of those weird things. So, yeah.
That'd be great to actually see a Superman versus Spider-Man movie. I
It
remember when
would
that book came out in '77 or '76, one of those years. Oh,
do you remember the Spider-Man TV show?
yeah,
Yeah,
'78. Yeah,
it was great. Dude, and Captain America TV show with the motorcycle and everything. I
yeah,
was like, oh, it's so great.
yeah. Red Brown as Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more like a
Yeah.
surfer Captain America.
He was.
Very
Dude,
laid
wow,
back.
we are freaking old. Holy cow. All right. Anyway, the
Uh,
kids in the class
hey
are going,
kids,
what are they talking about?
these old
Hello, fellow
guys.
kids. We have us throwing our Tony Hawk skateboard over our shoulder. What the heck?
Right.
All right. Oh man, do you remember? Oh wow. Do you remember metal skateboards?
Yeah,
Whoo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rarely do.
Man, you could hurt yourself. Like you
Yeah,
could die. That
I
thing could.
prefer the wood.
It was steel plate.
It's nuts.
I,
Oh,
I I had a banana. I need to find that thing.
wow.
It's the red compressed deep wheels, right?
Okay.
On like the trucks that you had to like crank with your screwdriver to get them to tighten up, and then
Right.
like, and man, they would mess you, and they had the kicks on both ends, right? So like, it was great for street tricks, but then you kind of almost would die if like something went wrong. You would end up bleeding somehow.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Crazy.
He stood out
And
15.
Tom F is like, yeah, that deck hurt like hell. Yes, it did. It was not good. You could rack yourself in a way that would make it so you couldn't have kids. Not great.
That's brutal. Yeah.
Not great. Anyway.
We're
All
a
right.
couple.
Well, that was a weird moment. So
Yeah,
let's continue on to some other weird moments if we don't have any chats to get to.
right.
Oh yeah, the Hulk TV show. Please, yes, Film
Oh
Phoenix is
my
100%
gosh,
right.
the Hulk TV's
Dude,
awesome. Yeah.
and look, you had Bruce Banner, which was played by Bill Bixby, but you had one of the coolest, nicest, strongest dudes ever, who actually physically stopped a car in real life with his body. Lou Ferrigno.
Oh yeah.
He was amazing.
He's an amazing brick, man. I tell you, he can
Dude.
lift.
He was a tank. It's like he and Arnie back then were like just constantly competing. It was amazing.
Pumping Iron. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Talk about repressed gay feelings in that film.
It's nuts.
Anyway. Yeah, what do they call it? Did I say that wrong? I probably said that.
No, I don't know.
Greatest American Hero was great too. Thank you,
that
Tom.
Was a good show.
Yeah, man. Two amazing actors in that.
Robert Culp, William Katz.
Katz went on to play Condor Man, didn't he? Who was Condor Man?
No, it's a different actor, I think.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Condor Man was still great. That's a Disney film that they don't talk about, and they haven't remade. And I'm like,
really?
What are you doing? You have this incredible superhero property that would be so family friendly. Where is your mind?
They have no mind.
Oh, yes, Michael Crawford. Thank you, Little Chad. By the way, we're redirecting to Little Chad and Ascended Art as soon as this show is over. And then I promise you they're going to redirect to my show tomorrow morning. Or probably not. I'll probably send it to Matt. And he'll forget. It is what it is. Buck Rogers in the 25th and a half century or whatever. 26th century, or whatever.
Yeah, I met Aaron Gray a couple of times.
I have a signed Aaron Gray.
Daring. God bless her. Yeah.
She's at her age. Like if you look at Star Trek Continues, you're like, how old is she? She's still smoking. The heck?
God, I don't know. Was she like 70 or something? Still looks good. Right.
Man, she's just hello.
She was promoting her yoga stuff and her health.
I think she's still on my list. I'll have to ask the boss, but
is there a chance, boss? You think Aaron Gray and I could get together?
I've always
maybe have lunch. I don't know.
Shadow Chasers is 72. I'm going to say that
That's good.
I've always liked older women.
Oh, yeah.
Who were our posters on our walls in our teen years, right? So
yeah, I had like a Heather Thomas poster going to college.
Wow, and I've noticed that the ladies, there's a trend in Hollywood for the older ladies now is not wearing makeup. So Valerie Bertinelli was rocking like a bra and panty shot. Right? I'm not. It's not salacious. It's just that she's very fit. She's rocking no makeup. Yeah. Juliet says Aaron Gray 74. Whew,
really? Still looks good. Come on.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Old school Battlestar Galactica. Indeed. I have the original collection in the collector set with the half mask of the Centurions. By your command. Yeah, I'm a freak show when it comes to... But this is something... nobody knows, maybe doesn't know about me, but I'm a freak show when it comes to the original Battlestar Galactica. I even like the redone series by
Edward James Olmos, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm weird. I'm just weird. So I'm one of the reasons that this studio is the studio it is because this was going to be the library in the house, and I got 1/4 of the way done. So there's a 14-foot wide by 14-foot tall bookcase in this room.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the bottom part of it, which is probably the bottom 30 inches, is full of old media, videotapes, DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever.
Yeah.
The rest of it is books. And I still have room to go. So, and then over here was going to be another bookcase, and behind me was going to be another bookcase, and that wall was going to be another bookcase. This was originally, this room was originally a sports bar. It was It was 14 by 28 in the house, right? And I
Yeah.
divided it in half, and basically put a dining room on the other side of that wall, which now is not a dining room anymore. It's the boss's office, so we've had to move dining around. But
Mm.
the goal was to, like, have a space, to have a quiet area that was thermally controlled, that you could just sit down and read and be lost.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
now it's a studio with books in it. It's
You can
dumb.
still get lost in the library with studio.
I'm lost in here all the time. I don't think I leave this chair for more than like 4 hours a day, it seems. Anyway, this is dumb. It's not about me. It's about you. So we got to move on.
Okay.
We got to move on. We got stuff to cover. We're too far in.
Yes.
We're 42 minutes in. We haven't gotten to the other two things we got to do.
Let's go to the news. Yeah, let's do.
All right, let's
So,
do it. Well, actually, got to go to weird news. Everybody ready for some weird news? I am.
let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, all right, all right. We got some weird news. That's right. It's by in the chat right now. But seriously, there's some weird news. I want to talk a little bit about the first story. The first story is weird because I don't agree with the premise. I need the audience to weigh in on this. I don't agree with the premise. Now, there's a famous film. I don't know about that. There's a film in theaters now that's based on a famous musical called Wicked. And there's a pair of twins that think they look like one of the stars. I
Okay.
don't. I gave you a little preview of this, but I'm gonna be fair about it. I don't agree.
Mm.
Oh, you disappeared. How did that happen? Oh, you're
Oh,
back. Okay.
I'm back. Oh, okay, I'm right
All
here.
right. All right. Yeah, that's weird. But here we go. So these are the two twins, Taylor and McKenna, and they say they
Uh,
often get mistaken for Ariana Grande.
mm.
I don't think so.
How old are they?
Well, the pair of twins who are obsessed with Ariana, so they're obsessed with her too because they dress like
They look like
her.
you're 14.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a pair of identicals who've become a viral sensation. Why? They don't look like. Anyway, Taylor and McKenna are better known as Pink Sweetener.
Oh Lord.
They've named themselves kids.
Mm. God have mercy.
Yeah. Anyway, the pair are from Canada. Well, that explains their delusion. They're from Canada. Sorry, Canadians. It's a joke. It's a joke. All right. Anyway, applying winged eyeliner and dressing up in outfits inspired by the superstar singer Ariana. The duo. Wait. I don't know how old they are. They have 70. They have over 75 outfits inspired by the Wicked star. So they
Uh,
crazy stuff. The duo say they make 25 TikToks a day.
did you get paid for doing TikTok? I guess. How do you get paid doing TikTok?
I don't know. You also have a YouTube and a Twitch and
Oh.
probably a lonely fans, I would say. Anyway, I don't know how old they are, so that could have been a stretch. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, they have 86,700 followers on TikTok.
Holy mackerel. That's crazy. Who would follow them? I don't know.
I don't know, but I didn't get ages.
They look rather young. They look maybe a teeny bit, look like maybe the one on the right, in a way, or high cheekbones. A nice bone structure.
Oh, they both have great bone structure, but at this point, like these two at least look like they eat food.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
Very strange.
I mean, none of them look like the Green Witch.
No, that's the Cynthia Ravo, Olivo,
Is it?
Olive something.
I haven't seen the movie. I take it you've seen it, right?
Oh no, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I don't
no.
blame
I've been sent so much information on that film. I am like,
you. You're like, pass.
yeah, it was really easy. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to check out the Weirdness Twins, they're under the Instagram Pink Sweetener as well. So there you go.
Oh man.
Oh, they're 20. And
What?
yeah, according to Davina Duckworth. Thank you, Davina. She's amazing.
You still have to
Um,
card them. I'm sorry, you know.
no, dude, you'd be carding these for like 20 years probably. Yeah. And if they stay popsicle stick thin like Ariana, they got
Yeah, yeah,
wobblums. All right. Well, anyway.
yeah.
Um, yeah, oh wait, I forgot to transition. There we go. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
So I'm not interested in crazy people, but I am interested in people who think they look like other people.
Mm.
Because those people thought they looked like superstars. Well, I don't know. Is Ari or is that Grande chick a superstar?
I I suppose people know who she is.
And
She used to be.
nobody knows who
Uh,
you are. You're not
yeah,
Spider-Man.
right.
Okay. Anyway, and that's how you say it. It's Spider-Man, not
Spider-Man.
not Spider-Man.
Sometimes Speederman, if you're,
I'm I say Spider-Man, and I get guff
Spider-Man.
for it. It's
Okay.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
Oh,
because I'm not referring to a multiple of them. I'm just that's
right.
how you say it. Spider-Man. Yeah. You don't anyway, I'm gonna get into this. This is important.
All
All
right.
right. Because there's a contest for people in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
And it's honestly not to be Tom Hanks in a terrible film. It's to actually compete with somebody for an appearance. This is true.
Oh,
Uh, uh, Look,
cool.
Philadelphians will channel their inner Italian stallion. See what I did there?
So Adrian, hey.
Oh, hey. Yeah. At Rocky, that's right. So this is a Rocky and Adrian look-alike contest. Look at that. Look
I
at
wish
that.
I was there to witness all this.
Dude, I don't know why. Apparently, this is part of Rocky Fest.
Nice.
Seriously? Seriously? Yeah, so yeah, lots of visitors check it out. Books, check them out. And couples who look awkward on skates and on dates can celebrate their cute clumsiness at Philadelphia's Rocky Fest on Friday. Friday, that's today. This happened today. The evening event at the University of Pennsylvania's 1923 ice rink is meant to echo the pair's first date in the classic 1976 film. Which who wrote that, kids?
Sylvester Stallone.
Indeed. So Rocky never actually dons ice skates in the scene, but instead shuffles alongside his best friend, Polly's sister, as she tries to stay upright.
Oh man, good scene.
It's a great
Yeah.
scene. Yeah. So anyway, the look-alike contest will get dinner at the iconic Victor Cafe, where the servers also sing opera. By the way, I used to do that when I was going to school. I worked at a retail joint.
Really?
After at one point, I mean, I did a lot of things, including running a landscaping company. But
Great.
when I was in school, but at the retail place I would sing opera in the morning before the place opened
No
because
doubt.
I'm insane. But yeah, anyway, they do that, and along with a hotel stay and a $250 certificate for a Rocky themed gift shop. That sounds
Ooh,
great. They do this
that's
every year.
hell yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Do you think you could pull off a Rocky lookalike?
No.
Mm,
I could pull off a Billy Bob Thornton look like. Yeah. A lot of people say
hard
I
to say.
look like him. Yeah.
Memes. Memes is here, guys. Just so you know, Memes of Destruction released his paper.
Oh, his paper.
Yeah,
What's
he wrote a paper. He's a smart guy. He
wonder
he
what's
he,
about.
he, he likes exploring the universe.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, there he is, saying hi to everybody. Hello,
Means of destruction.
everybody. That's right. Yeah, we miss this guy. Oh my goodness, it's the very lovely Stunt Brat. Stunt Brat, I need to
Oh, Stump
interview
Rat.
you,
Yes.
dear. You've been absent my life recently. Where have you been? Where have you
She's
been?
very cool, by the way.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah.
I met her in the chat on John's Talks a few years back. Really
Yeah,
nice.
I need to interview her.
Yeah, you should. You really should.
She's great. Meme says, not released yet. You just covered the calculation. You're not done? This guy is redesigning the universe with
He's,
with physics.
he's overdue on his paper, too. Hmm.
Is he really?
I guess. That's how you said he had paper out, but
Memes.
you're running late, young man. Get it finished.
Oh, yeah, we're waiting. You could redefine the universe. Elon Musk might come and hug you. You don't know.
Good.
There she is. I've been lurking. I want to talk to you. You. I need you. Okay, sorry. All right. What we got? So anyway, so this sounds like a lot of fun. This is a thing I would do. The apparently the original second cast of the Rocky statue was unveiled at the top of the steps. And it will remain there until December 31.
Ooh.
I'm excited. I gotta go. I got to go.
So you said they haven't revealed it, or have they?
No, it is. It says,
Okay.
Meanwhile, the second cast of the Rocky statue was unveiled at the top of the Rocky steps. The original was featured in Rocky 3 and will remain there through December 31.
Okay. So the new statue.
Rocky is the status symbol of resilience. And the fact that they did this means he got to the heart of the culture in Philadelphia.
Well, there's so much of a backstory with his film. The way he, I don't know if you've read it or not, but he basically just slept on the streets and try to get the script out to. He went to several studios, and there's the one studio accepted it, but he couldn't be in it, and he said, and so Stone turned it down. It's like, oh, and then there's a few offers came in and said, finally, okay, we'll offer it. At first it was going to be 350,000, but since you're going to be in the movie, they have to bump it down to maybe under 100 grand, I guess. I forgot the exact figure to be in the movie. And so, yeah, and he did. And of course, it really took off with 6 or 7 sequels after that.
He did pretty well,
Yeah.
and he's constantly fighting with the guy that was producing that as well as to whether or not he owns the rights. I think he owns the rights. He's the writer. It's a really weird conversation. Speaking of weird conversations, I'm loving this one though. I'm having a good time. Look at all these great people.
Awesome chat.
Stunt Brat does want to have the conversation. I think we should. We need to talk about whether or not you'll be on camera, because then you'll be identifiable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Stunt Brat was in a lot of films, and not just films, I think, but a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you may have seen. Yeah. Wait, not may have seen. You probably saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
I think she's retired from that. You think?
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and Stallone was absolutely out of money when he took that deal. True story.
Yeah, I think I can't remember the exact figure that he got, but it was
Yeah.
It was maybe scale at the time.
Stunt Brad's goes, I think. Come on, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. And I'm a soft touch.
Yeah.
Ask this guy. I'm non-threatening. You will come in completely prepared, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, you're a teddy bear, man. It's good. It's
I
cool.
know. All right, so we need to get to the next one. Coming up next, from the side. Got a great story. Also in Pennsylvania. I think today's theme is Pennsylvania. Apparently, let's get to it. Let's go. So a Pennsylvania couple who divorced in 1975. I was 5 years old, by the way. To remarry Sunday, this coming Sunday. That's right. They divorced nearly 50 years ago. They're planning to remarry.
Oh, wow.
Pretty odd, right?
Yeah.
Faye Gable and Robert Weinrich met because he was her older brother's best friend. And she says he told them he was going to marry her someday. They were wed. This is crazy. Look at this. In November of 1951. So they were together for a while. Wow. They had 4 kids together, but divorced in 75 for reasons they declined to discuss. Wop, wop, wop.
Right.
Both eventually remarried and remained with their spouses for many years until their spouses died.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Huh.
They always had a good relationship and often attended family events together. So they recently decided, and this is kind of neat. They recently decided it was time to tie the knot again.
God bless him.
Amazing.
That sounds
Amazing stuff. Yeah. It's who says you can't find love twice with the same person?
it can
So,
happen.
so they're like two teenagers in love. They do everything together. Said the couple's youngest daughter. Oh, referring to her father, she said, he said she was the first love of my life. I never thought I'd get her back, and now I did. I'm not wasting time. Here's the weird thing, kids. Weinrich turned 94 on Friday,
Wow.
and his once and future bride is 89. So it's not like they're spring chickens, kids. That's an amazing story. Again, this is weird news portion, so there's that. There's that.
Oh, yeah.
I've been Burgles has never looked back, mate. Well, I mean, in this instance, how far back would it have been? It's like discovering a new person all over again. So Weinrich said, I think we'll be good now for the next couple of years. Dude's 94.
94, that's a long time. Wow.
Oh, sorry. I this was one I couldn't resist. I hope you all forgive me.
That's all right.
Hope you all forgive me.
That's irritating.
So no, it's just kind of fun.
It is
wild. Kind of fun. And the chat's on in a little bit. They're a little grumpy on this. Stud Brett says that's what arsenic is for. Oh boy. All right then.
Great. Lord.
I've been burgled, says they just don't want to die alone. I can understand that. Well,
sure.
It sounds like they shared a lot together. And I have a feeling that sharing a lot may have been the reason they got divorced in the first place, but that's not a kind speculation on my part. Now, finally, we're going to talk a little sports ball.
All right.
But not really. Not really. The weird thing is it comes from a state that I think at least some people are going to be interested in. The state of Texas.
Okay.
So, college football rules the world. We all know that. So much so that it's realigned entire conferences and eliminated conferences. It has put kids in a position of power and money that they never should be in and will probably tear the sport apart. Those are my personal feelings, not anyone else's. But we need to talk about what actually happened and what will happen this weekend, which I find rather sad. Because there are certain traditions in football that you want to maintain. What is that? Well, Bevo will not be at the football game versus Georgia.
What?
That's right. The SEC tells Texas there's no room for the 1,700-pound Longhorn at the title game versus Georgia. How can you do that?
They could put a guy in a Longhorn suit with big horns and run around. I don't know. I mean, it's an idea. The guy would be like 200 pounds. To put on the suit would be 230 pounds. But the horns would be, 40 pounds on his head. It'd be hard lifting on his neck, that's for sure.
All I know is that the league said there wasn't enough space on the sideline at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is bologna sausage, by the way. For number 2 Texas to bring along the 1,700-pound Longhorn Bevo. Bologna! I am not a Bevo fan. The people in the audience are not a Bevo fan.
I'm not either. I'm a Texas Tech fan.
Well, I figured. Oh, man, you lost the Pirate a few years ago. That was a shame. And then Shadow Chaser says, I'm no Longhorn fan, but you gotta have Bevo. That's right. It's just like with Oklahoma, you got to have the wagon, right? So yeah. I'm like going, what's going on here?
Yeah, you got to have the Red Raider with the horse. You got to have,
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's wild.
Wild times we're living in.
How big are it's pretty big. It's a big pal. Most of those Longhorns are big fellas. In fact, but they're good eating. I mean, eventually.
Good steaks, hamburgers. Yeah, yum. It's all good.
Randy's like, I smell insurance, not BS. Yeah, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah. Sparky's a different story. You might be a flame on the fire if you're an ASU fan. There are you can't escape the animal, like, you just can't do it. The animal's got to be present. It's crazy.
Gotta have it.
Bevo went after George's bulldog a few years ago. Well, then
Oh,
get it away or put it someplace safe. I'm just
I think
saying.
I remember a little bit of that. Yeah.
I've been burgled. Bell, Biv, Bevo.
Bevo, yeah. That's I remember.
You're surprised, right? I mean, this is kind of a thing.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your thoughts on that. We've got to get to the real stuff though, because there are actual topics in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking toppings like pepperoni or anything else. I'm saying there are actual toppings in the world. Let's see if we have any gifties or super chats. Nope. Looks like we're clean and sober out there. I need to get these people drunk, maybe. Anyway, as a native Texan, I'm geeked out that the UT A&M game. Oh man, A&M is back. I always back the Aggies in that game. Yeah, man.
Gigamac.
No.
Gigamaggins.
Sergeant Giratina asks a question. Have you ever watched the original Proud Family series? It was really good. The revival tarnished the legs, destroyed it. It's super woke. What are you talking about?
I've never heard of the Proud Family. When did that come out?
It's a Disney thing. That's quite a bit ago. It's animation.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm not begging for super chats. I was just saying. I do super chat culture every time I drink. All right, fair enough.
When I get a super chat, come on.
No, that's not how I work. You guys know that. No. I just what I really enjoy is memberships because, I get to bring people into some background stuff. And Max in the house. Good to see you, Max. And Max says, my husband graduated from UT and Texas A&M. Wow, both.
Is that right?
Yeah. To be fair, I have family members that went to rival schools and graduated from both. So that's not all that surprising. But good couple of years. I feel the same way about the future of college football. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's in trouble. Stud Brat. Proud Family bites. The new version. The old one was fine. No, it's true. Oh my goodness, look at it. It's the greatest and wonderfulest. Lovely Sherry. Good to see you.
Good to see you. All right.
Yep. I hope you're doing well, dear. And thank you for all the amazing updates to your photography, your icon, and avatar. I love to call attention to how awesome you are. All right. We've got We've got the real stories, the real news, the news that the news that matters. I almost said the nudes that matter, but that would get me in trouble. Let's see. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Doge?
Yes, do that.
All right. You sure?
Seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we got to run the thing, which we'll do. We're going to run the thing with the thing. And then you guys will join us with the thing. I smelled dinner. I am so distracted right now. All right, Apex, here we go. All right. How's it going, everybody? We've got actual news. Now, if you've ever seen this segment, I actually bring it. So I'm going to ask you some questions around the stories. We're going to first cover the stories, but I think it's fascinating because in this particular case, every single one of these is hard hitter. We're going to talk about a little bit of politics from the aspect of spending our tax dollars. We're going to talk about what's happening in healthcare because of some events. We'll talk about an appeals court rejecting a thing that is going to make a tech company pretty mad And we're going to talk about a situation of justice that I think should have been resolved today. So let's start first with a doggy, Doge. So Doge's Musk Ramaswamy want Congress to pass huge spending cuts. That's a tough sell. I want them to pass. I want them to just eliminate stuff, not pass it. I want it gone.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And look, none of these politicians are particularly happy about this because they are buying off supporters with all this pork.
Hmm.
So when this stuff goes away, when government jobs go away, when influence goes away, none of these congressmen or senators are super excited, let alone the people that are going to lose their job. What do you think?
They need to get a real job, I would say.
No.
That's sucking on the government teat. Time for you to vamoose. Start experiencing the free market, capitalism. This is what this country is founded on. You know?
Davina. Sorry, I have the best chat on. I
Yeah, you
swear,
do.
I have the best chat on YouTube.
Top part of
And
government.
and when Davina drops something like this, it got to get highlighted.
Yes. Yes.
Department of Government Efficiency, aka we have a firing solution.
Damn right.
That plays
Agreed,
on multiple levels, if you know what that
Agreed.
is.
Dang right.
Hey, the road to wisdom. This man, I love this man. He's a good man. He's a lawman. You should check out his channel, Road to Wisdom. Please.
Wisdom.
Please. So yeah.
Subscribe.
He's a good friend. Good friend. That's Danny. Yeah.
Annie.
Anyway, let's take a look at this. So the key points here are Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are seeking major cuts to federal spending. Yay! Any meaningful reductions will be near impossible without legislation to cut Social Security benefits. This is an opinion part, I believe. Medicare and Medicaid, long considered the third rail of Congress. I don't think that's what they're talking about.
No.
The duo had a day of meetings on Capitol Hill with hundreds of Republican lawmakers. So they're going to work. But their first joint visit to Congress on Thursday, the pair also likely saw some of the limits of outside influence on the workings of the legislative branch, crisscrossing Capitol Hill together on a marathon day of meetings with lawmakers. They got warm welcomes from Republicans. Well, I bet they did. Not so much from the people on the other side.
Yeah.
Their overall message was popular too. A smaller federal government, looser regulations, because they've been really ridiculous the last few years. And a private sector approach to public sector have long been cornerstones of conservative governance. Well, it's also a way to reduce expenditures. But
Right.
so Musk's stated goal of slashing federal spending by $2 trillion was already DOA, according to some people. It comes down to math. In fiscal 2023, for example, the federal government spent a total of $6.1 trillion. That's far too much. Of that $6.1 trillion, about $3.8 trillion was already off limits for cuts on day one, legally obligated to go towards mandatory spending programs. Now, they mentioned Social Security. What are the other mandatory spending programs? Retired workers. No. Retired workers can get offloaded to an investment. If that's a way, you immediately privatize these pensions into an investment fund. That's all that takes. And Medicare coverage and veterans benefits.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're saying after that, roughly $650 billion was set aside to pay the interest on the national debt. If you cut all of the things that aren't outlined already, you'll solve a problem. A lot of problems, actually. So it's a 1.7 trillion for everything else. I don't believe any of that's accurate. I believe there's a lot of fudging of numbers. I believe a lot of things are buried in other agencies. And I believe that's the reason why they have to cut federal agencies. There are too many people working too many jobs where they don't actually do anything.
No, it's this agency on top of another agency responsible for this agency on the bottom of these other agencies. It's just ridiculous.
Well, we saw the problem with FEMA, right? We can't trust them anymore. They've been
No.
politicized. So once you've been politicized and injected with poison, you have to extricate it. And I think that's what will happen.
Gotta kill the
And
weeds.
there's far too much overlap. They think that you can't cut 2 trillion. I disagree.
You can.
I think you can. There's a lot of double things that are happening within the military. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they're going to be able to cut the 2 trillion?
I think they can, but there's so much opposition from the Democrats. Unfortunately, they want to keep their lobbyists intact. If they cut some of the spending on these agencies, a lot of these agencies are funded by these lobbyists, unfortunately. And I hope we can cut the 2 trillion. You could cut it. You could reform the Department of Education. You're not going to really get rid of it, overnight, but it'll take time. The Department of Government Efficiency, much needed agency right there. Got to cut the fat. There's a lot of fat to cut. You got to cut off foreign governments. Don't no money to them. America first. We have to take care of ourselves.
Well,
We can take care of anyone.
Well, I mean, the current occupant of the Oval Office is sending a huge amount of money to a foreign country for a rail program, not taking care of the people who just got walloped by double hurricanes. So
Right.
it to me, it's not a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And we spend too much. We spend too much and get too little from the military industrial complex, as Davinia Duckworth suggests. First of all, I'm all for a military that dominates the world 3 times over. We need to be prepared for 2.5 wars. That doctrine, it needs to stay in place. But what that doesn't include is making it so that the people who are feeding our weaponry to us can feed it to other countries around the world.
Mm-hmm.
We give away too much at too great a cost. And
Yeah.
and I believe trillions of dollars are wasted, Davinia. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I think the Department of Education is there's no reason for it.
Right.
Since its creation, and you can check me on this. Since its creation, education in the United States has gone downward in a downward spiral and has never recovered. Do
Very
you have
true.
any thoughts? Because I know you're a military man, a veteran.
Yeah. Department of Education, I think it came out in 1978 under Carter.
Carter. Yep.
Yeah. And it has not improved whatsoever. It's gotten worse and worse each decade. Established the CRTs, and I think part of the DEIs, right? All this woke education stuff.
Yep.
If you cut the fat off of that, you cut off the wokeness from the education.
Indeed. Indeed.
Leave it to the states.
Yep. With 103 of you in the chat, do you think we should get rid of the Department of Education? I'm just curious. Say yes in the chat. I would appreciate it. We'll see what that ends up being. But I want to say thank you to our friend Weatherman for another kick in the pants with $1. $1, make me holla. I want a reduction of government committees. They waste too much money trying to control us. That's true. What I hate is all the things we pay for, like scientific research to the tune of a couple $100 million into finding out how to make praying mantises survive in the Arctic.
Why?
I don't care.
Give them tiny little parkas.
I tell you what, there are other countries in the world that can research that shit. I'm not paying for it. And I said a bad word on my channel just now because that
I get it.
I don't curse.
Ways. Thank God for Elon and Ramaswamy. I'm praying these guys can do a great job with very minimum drawback from the opposite side. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, and look, I've had no benefit from any of these other departments. We've had the Department of Energy. We don't need them anymore. We know where energy comes from.
Yes.
The private sector needs to step up and develop other ways of doing energy.
Yes.
And this is true, actually. Our good friend, the means of destruction, hate the current system. I hate it too. So much money is wasted in administration.
Yeah.
It's
Why?
it's 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 dumb.
Yeah,
I think you just need a Department of Government grants that
that's
is
it.
fully transparent and available to anybody at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you need somebody that has sense to select what gets grants and what doesn't, because that doesn't happen.
No.
So I like that idea. Um, and especially since now schools have such large endowments,
Mm, yeah.
many of them really they're public. They're not they're privately funded at this point, and not to an advantage. I think there needs to be an investigation into that as well. But regardless,
Yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting story to cover. And yeah, I don't have high hopes,
No.
uh, but I do have high hopes for that particular movement, the Doge movement, because so many people are behind it. It's weird when the government doesn't want to listen to its constituency. It tells you a lot. When the government wants to line their own pockets and ignore the constituency, that tells you even more. The level of corruption in government right now is extraordinary, and the only reason there's lifelong politicians like there are now is because there's money to be made for them,
Yeah.
destroying the constituency.
Greasy.
On that note, we are running short of time, which means we got to haul booty through these stories. We got 10 minutes, which means we're only going to get through maybe one more that I think is probably the most important before I give you a chance to talk more about this incredible campaign that you have. This is the problem with having too much fun. I feel like we had too much fun and we're paying for it now. I really do. So let me get us into the next story, which is both good and bad news, but it's definitely news we should pay attention to. On that note, I'm going to share the results of a trial that never should have happened. Daniel Penny, the trial judge agreed to drop the top manslaughter count after jury deadlocks twice. In other words, this Al Bragg guy, this Bragg douche, this dude that's been just one of the worst things to happen to the justice system in the Northeast. Um, the judge, who's a crazy human, trying to force a verdict to the detriment of this man, which is not a judge's job, by the way, um, agreed to drop the top charge against Penny in the subway chokehold death of Jordan Neely, which is not accurate. Jordan Neely was in rough shape to begin with, whether or not they were restrained. Also, still alive, according to testimony, after the chokehold and everything else. So, the judge says we move to dismiss the top count of manslaughter in the second degree. And this is what the district attorney, Daphne Yora, actually told the court around 3:30. The judge signed off on the request, which came after the jurors twice said Friday they couldn't come to a verdict. There are 6 people on this jury that are complete douches, that are, I would say, racist.
Oh.
That's just my opinion.
Right.
Do you have any response to that? Is that a blessing? Not trying to get this manslaughter charge?
Uh, well, he shouldn't get a manslaughter charge. He tried to defend all these people on the subway. There's
Yeah.
witnesses, a number of
Would
witnesses to get attest to what he's done.
yeah.
Yeah, if he wasn't a threat, he wouldn't be doing. He wouldn't have choked them to begin with.
Yep. And again, all he did was restrain a guy who was with malice trying to harm everybody else in this train. As you said, all of the witnesses testified on Penny's behalf
Right.
that he was doing nothing but preserving peace and protecting people.
Mhm.
So apparently, the 12-person panel will continue deliberating Monday on the lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide. which Penny, 26, this is a 26-year-old kid or guy, I guess, faces in the fatal May encounter aboard the Uptown F train. He
Mm,
pled not guilty to that as well. And I'm telling you, first of all, this guy was alive
yeah.
when aid arrived.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is him walking out of the court on the 6th. It's probably good news. You're not going to get manslaughter,
Right.
you know. But I wanted to cover this story. I believe it's one of the most important ones we could possibly talk about today. What
Right.
are your thoughts? Do you think that this should have just been dismissed at this point?
I think it should. Yeah. Not
Yeah,
guilty verdict. I
yeah.
mean, he did what he had to do, and you get what trying to do a good Samaritan act. Nowadays, you get punished for it, and there's an example of that, unfortunately.
Yeah. On that note, I will say a great thank you to our friend N Mac in the chat for 5 Culture Casino memberships. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And it's very important, N Mac, that you're here. So thank you for being here. And thank you for your long running support of the channel. Um, yeah, and N Mac's correct. I mean, Trump can pardon him. Look, apparently pardons are all the rage. You can do it on anybody now for years, for thousands of years. Who knows? In perpetuity, pardon forever. You know what? In fact, when they go out and commit a crime, they're good. If they did one in the past, they're good. Doesn't
You okay?
matter.
Here you go.
Forever. Here
You
you
get
go.
out of jail.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Trump's gonna be like, I'm not going to limit my pardons to 11 years. I'm gonna give it to, yeah, I don't sound like him. I do a terrible Trump. I'm not the guy. Nick Weiser does. But I find it crazy that
It's
this
okay. You're
even,
free to go. You've been
yeah,
pardoned.
I find it crazy in the first place that this was charged. But look, I need to give you the last word. We are coming up on the last few minutes of the stream, and I always want to give you plenty of runway. So I'm going to tell you
Yes.
this much
Mm,
and remind you, you can hear me, but they can't. So I'm going to tell you something important.
okay.
You need to plug yourself. True story.
All right. Here we go. Fembat Volume 1. Yes. Buy it today. It's a 56 pages of pulse-pounding horror superhero action. Olivia Del Rey in 1968 gets bit by a tall, dark stranger who happens to be secretly a vampire. The day later, she started to have these powers of a vampire: immortality, superhuman strength. Uh, but the side effects: she can't go out in the daylight, she can't go to Catholic mass, and she can't see her reflection in the mirror. She just gets very distraught. How is a Catholic girl able to deal with vampirism? She doesn't want to kill anyone for blood, but she ends up stealing blood from blood banks. This happened for the past 50 plus years until she befriends a scientist, Professor Nigel Emery, who builds a fembat battle suit able to fight monsters and vampires, and it will have a certain amount of pills to satiate her blood hunger. You'll be able to see all this coming out in Fembat Volume 1 by Brett Cantrell, yours truly, Apex Comics. Back at today on Fund My Comic, we have stretch goals. We've accomplished $1,000. Everyone gets a Fembat Giant bookmark. And our next stretch goal, 2,500, you get a free Fembat magnet. And of course, if we reach 5K, every backer will get a Fembat trading card illustrated, painted by the great Dan Lawless. So back it today, everybody. You feel great, you feel better about your purchase. That the project is completely finished, except for maybe 1 or 2 pages that need to be retweaked. But it'll be full black and white because you're able to see all the textures of the black and white format in this wonderful volume. Um, you only have 159 days until May 15th is the cutoff date, and it will be shipped around July 24th, approximately. Yeah.
All right, I'm stoked, dude. You got me pumped. I can't wait. I'm gonna back the book here in the
Thank
next half an hour.
you. Same.
Dude, I have to tell you, like every independent book I bought, whether it be Fatal J or Eric July or any of the other books I bought, I've been just absolutely thrilled with. And I feel like we live in a fellowship of people that kind of know what they're doing. And as you told everybody at the beginning, you've been doing this for how long?
I would say the first book, I'll show you my first book that I have.
Mm,
Back in 1996, I was a kind of a creator who would do maybe a few pages here and there. I had 16 pages of the executor right here. It's the
nice,
executor, and then 14 pages of Femme Fatale. So this is a flip book. Came
nice.
out in 1996. Only less than 50 copies of these were produced. The second issue, I printed like 1,000. I still have, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 of those left in a way. I've yet to do a third edition of, well, third, so I say a third issue of Executor Femme Fatale. But I'll be crowdfunding it within a couple of years, I would say.
Wow.
This will be the 30th anniversary coming up on 2026. It'll take a while to actually get there. I produced, I think, 10 pages of the Executor, the third issue, and maybe I would say 4 pages of Femme Fatale. So I'm going to try, I'd say 20 pages each on each one and crowdfund it. That's my plan.
Wow, that's look. I love what you're doing. I've supported you all these many years. I like I said, I appreciate it. I thank you for coming on today and
Yeah.
sharing everything about your project, yourself, and what you do. Check him out on YouTube. Description down below has everything on this man, including the campaign and everything that he's working on. He's a good guy. I can vouch for him personally. And I can't believe it took me this long to get him on my channel, but I appreciate that.
Thank
And yeah, I mean, man, I miss John. I gotta call John. I gotta call John Talks and get a
really
hold of
do.
him.
We got
Yeah,
to have
yeah,
a reunion or something.
yeah. Me and you and Nina and Scott. That
And
man,
Jay was there, Nina, and yeah,
yeah,
those guys.
we had so much fun back then. Oh
It's
goodness.
fun, man.
All
We can
right. Well,
do that.
I want to say special thanks to the incredible chat that we've had tonight. Everybody
Thank
on
you.
everywhere, whether it be X, hi X, those of you on Rumble, those of you on YouTube, all the amazing gifties, the member chats, and everything. Check this guy out. You won't be disappointed. I don't know much else other than we had some good news and we had some news, and tonight was actually exceptionally fun overall. Coming up
That's
next
great.
is my friends over at Ascendant Art. When I launch this, they'll probably be starting their countdown. I'm editing 2 videos right now, in addition to tomorrow's live stream. So if you check out Ascendant Art, they will actually redirect to my live stream. So if you stick with them the whole night, you'll be able to get there. Otherwise, I've already got that set up for tomorrow for the Saturday news update. Any last words you want to say there, my friend?
Yes, back Finbat today. Subscribe to Apex Comics if you would. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs.
Close,
It's
so close.
so close, about 800 roughly. Come and go.
Uh,
Sometimes people, I guess YouTube or algorithms either
they
lose a
kick
few or
people
gain a
out.
few.
Kick
Yeah.
people out.
So
Yeah.
appreciate you subbing to my channel.
Yeah.
I'll be on Apex After Dark tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We'll have a guest on there, Godfo Universe, which is another comic book company in the indie comics realm. Be a great plus Rex Hex and Apex 10 a.m. on the Devil Flower Momentum channel on YouTube. That's 12 p.m. Eastern, or if you're in the Pacific time, I believe that's 9 a.m. So yeah, we have Rex, Devil Flower, Apex Comics, me, and of course Hex. Hex Allen, formerly Hex Allen. Now he's Quantum Age Comics, but we still call him Hex. So we have a show like every couple of weeks on each of our channels.
It sounds like an extraordinary amount of fun. On that note,
That's
I'm
cool.
going to say it. We're going to get out of here. I'm supposed to have Hojo on here pretty soon. I hope.
Joe, yes,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I got to reach back out to him again, but it'll be fun. Anyway, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time,
Ciao for
see
now.
ya.
See ya.